We also have a LiDAR equipped bolt thing. And let's see if we're gonna have a good hotel charging experience. That station has seen better days. That's quite something. Someone really hit that. I am flooring it. 1% state of charge, 3% power available, 5 kWh in the pack. I don't understand why I cannot go. I should be fine. This is not good. The wrong shirt on the wrong day. I should have worn my Don't Trust the BMS shirt. Let's get on the road. Not sure why it's all choppy here. Let's try that again. 18% state of charge, 23 kWh in the pack. It is 87 degrees outside. Goodness gracious. We've got a Cybertruck towing. Look at that, an Airstream. That is actually pretty cool. So there are the restrooms, 2500 kVA transformer. There must be a path to somewhere. Now I'm intrigued since it said amenities. Kind of curious where this goes. I was not expecting even the restrooms to be this nice. What's up, guys? It's Brandon Flash. Today you're joining me in Delray Beach, Florida, and we are headed from here in southeast Florida all the way back to Charlotte, North Carolina over the next 36 hours or so. We're going to be using almost exclusively IONNA and Mercedes chargers, probably not even any Tesla Superchargers, just to see how it's possible now that there are all these new build-outs happening in the southeast and across the country. Let's hop in. I'll show you guys the route, and then we're going to hit the road. It is already 4:45 in the afternoon on a Friday, so hopefully we don't hit too much commuter traffic, but we're going to go all the way over to the Tampa area first and then head north. So this is my F-150 Lightning Lariat extended range. You guys have seen this definitely before. And first stop, so we're down here just north of Fort Lauderdale, and we are headed to the Tampa area, Ellenton, Florida, just near Bradenton. And I'm really hoping we don't hit too much traffic and that we can beat that a bit. So let's get going there. Let me show you guys the route. So here you can see, so we're going kind of across and then up through Atlanta. I'm not 100% sure on this section of the route, but we will see. But we're in, as I said, Delray Beach, Ellenton, Riverview. Then we'll head to Lutz in Tampa. We will head Gainesville. That one's showing a Tesla Supercharger right now, but I'm likely going to find a hotel somewhere in this like Ocala, Gainesville area, and then stay the night there, and then we'll do most of that tomorrow. Just shy of 1,000 miles. There's some new sites in there as well. Let's get the truck set. So let me just turn it off to reset that trip. And that trip one is from while I was here in Delray Beach. I will reset that. And this 815.6 was since I left home. So let's leave that one. And yeah, let's get on the road. We've got some distance to cover. Hoping to make it to the hotel before it's too crazy late. And we'll probably try to grab some food at some point. Hopefully probably at one of the chargers. But we shall see. I've got some snacks, so I think I'll be good survival-wise, but I am getting a little hungry. So let's get on the road. Let's see. Is that north up? No. Okay. I might try and grab some Starbucks on my way out of town. 28 minutes faster. If there's something on this right side that I can dip in and then dip out, that would be great, because I could get some Starbucks food. So let me see what my Starbucks options are, and then we'll go from there. And just like that, I have added a Starbucks stop Interestingly, now it's changing my route. Originally, it was having me go up that way and over, but maybe it's getting better. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to stop there. It looks like it's on the right side, so it should be a quick pull in, grab my stuff, pull out, continue on. I need some caffeine. As I said, it's getting late in the evening, so let's get to it. Got the goods, got my cortado, got a tomato mozzarella panini thing, so should be set both food-wise and caffeine-wise, and looks like we have a 8:45 p.m. arrival to Ellenton, and make the most of it. So we just arrived to the Ellenton Outlets, and we have Electrify America here with 4 stalls, it seems. Yep, 4 stalls. There are 2 cars charging, an e-Golf and an Ioniq 5. We then have Tesla Superchargers here. So we have, let's see how many cabinets we have down here. That will be the easiest way. Probably 16 stalls. Yeah, it looks like we've got 4 cabinets as far as I can tell. We also have a LiDAR equipped bolt thing. 2 of them? What the heck? That's very interesting. It says OSCI on the back. I wonder if they're like autonomous things. Interesting. And then over here we have the Mercedes chargers. So let's go over there. That's where I'm going to charge. And my primary objective here is to figure out my hotel for the night. Because it's getting late and I'm getting tired. So I'd like to find where I'm staying for the night. So you can see the smart poles here with the lights and the status. You can even see the state of charge for the EV9 charging here. So they're fairly low state of charge. I guess I'll just charge here. It doesn't really matter. It's not like the site is full right now. If I can manage to park well. What a concept that would be. So there we go. We'll activate. Here are our stats. So we drove 195.4 miles, just over 4 hours. That also includes the Starbucks stop. Yeah, that's how far we've driven today. Just over 1,000 miles since I left home. And we're at 29% state of charge with 36 kilowatt hour in the pack. So let's get charging. I'll activate the station and then maybe I'll wander over there and see what's up. I activated the station. These chargers are 40 cents per kilowatt hour. There we go. And I'm curious to see how much the Tesla chargers are and how much the Electrify America is. So there we go. Starting. Again, you can see the lights and everything. Even got kind of a central light. So let me look at the pricing for the other ones, because that should be a very interesting study, if you will. So for Tesla drivers or membership pricing, the Supercharger is slightly cheaper at 37 cents a kilowatt hour and 21 cents off peak. And the Electrify America is 56 cents a kilowatt hour. And I suspect the Tesla is actually a bit more if you're not using the membership pricing. And then these are just 40 cents per kilowatt hour flat rate currently. Well, I booked the Hilton Garden Inn in Brandon, Florida, which I thought was kind of fitting. So let me just show you guys this site quick, and then we'll get on the road since the hotel has charging. And if not, we'll go to the Riverview Mercedes in the morning regardless. So it doesn't really matter if we can or can't charge there. And either way, we'll have enough charge now. We're at like 47% right now. You can see the status there on the smart pole. So single cable unit there, dual cable, dual cable, dual, dual. That's 5 units. See the lights here as I kind of got out, they got a little bit brighter. Since you see the state of charge increased on the EV9 here. Also see how that got brighter as I walked up to it. And then over here we have the infrastructure. So switchgear, transformer. There's the meter over there. We've got the outlets over here. There's still an e-golf charging, still the 2 bolts. You can see some lightning over there. Wow. I'm not really sure where restrooms are. That's a downside of charging at outlets like this or any mall really. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of charging here, which is super nice. Another car pulling up. Not sure if they're coming to charge or just pass through. Oh, Model 3. But anyway, let me grab some photos here and then let's get on the road. Half hour to the hotel. So been here 12 minutes, or just about 12 minutes, and still at 119 kilowatt hour, or kilowatt, tired. 32 kilowatt hour added, 160-ish kilowatt average. This will cycle back to time here in just a second. There we go, so just over 12 minutes. And let's stop. And we'll get going. So, very nice and fast charge. Lots and lots of bugs. Lots of bugs in the front as well. Very nice site. So there you can see the curve. Let's get going. I am looking forward to some sleep. So here we go. Half an hour to the hotel. It's basically east of Tampa proper, right off of I-75. And then the other church I want to go to, the Riverview one, is like here-ish or something. So I'll just go there in the morning. Backtrack a tiny bit, but that's totally fine. And why are there kids running over there? What the heck? Anyway, yeah. So we'll get there at 39%, and that's totally fine.
You got me shaking, yeah, I feel the fever coming on. Boy, you know you're all I want. Keep saying that I hate it, but it's kind of fun. Watching me come undone. No more games. Can't we just say its name? Instead of running away and jumping the gun to play it safe. Let's spend the weekend here in this bed we can sleep in and let the feelings overflow. Useless trying to.
Well, we arrived at the hotel. Let's see the stats. 40% state of charge, 31.9 miles driven, 50.28 kilowatt hours in the pack. And let's see if we're going to have a good hotel charging experience. That station has seen better days. That's quite something. Someone really hit that. But it looks like we have the ability to charge tonight. This Mercedes EQB is using the Clipper Creek unit here. Looks like they're maybe charging. What does that say on it? That's an old school EnviroSpark. So maybe they're doing scheduled charging. I don't know. But this Gen 2 workhorse Tesla wall connector looks to be functional. Just popped it into my adapter here. And we should be good to charge tonight. Let's see. It's normal for it to fail at first, and then it starts charging, at least it should. There we go, we're charging, power's flowing. So let's see, when we'll be at 100%. So we'll be at 100% by 8:35 in the morning. I'll probably leave before then, but still, we're going to be basically fully charged even if I leave at like 7:30. Let's see what kind of power we're getting. Did not need to be screen recording there. AC charger input. So it looks like we should get 40 amps at about 200 or so volts. So that is adjusting there. That is, the 20 amps is to one of the chargers, and there's two chargers, so 40 amps if you haven't watched one of the videos with this truck before. But there we go. So we'll be charged in the morning. Let me grab all my stuff. And then I already did mobile check-in, and we should be able to just walk right into the room. Well, here's the hotel room. We're at the Hilton Garden in Brandon, Tampa, something like that. It is adequate. Pretty nice. Bathroom is definitely dated. We have a jacuzzi tub that I would personally not dare use. You've got the controls there. That thing's probably straight from the 1980s. And we've got two TVs. This is like a suite kind of thing. I always like to wipe down surfaces in hotels because who knows how well things have been cleaned. And I can actually see my truck right down there, which is pretty nice. So no complaints. Probably wouldn't want to stay here long, but like for one night, has functioning charging, is clean enough. No reason not to stay here. Is also pretty cheap. So there's no like actual luggage rack thing. I'm certainly not putting my suitcase on that chair, and also that wouldn't hold a decent sized suitcase. So I guess I'm using the desk as my suitcase holder tonight. Anyway, would love to have made it farther today, but left later than I planned. And yeah, I was pretty tired. Didn't get the greatest sleep last night, and I was out in the sun all day. So we drove like 4.5 hours, I guess, and we'll do the rest tomorrow. So I'm gonna get some sleep. See you guys in the morning. Good morning from Brandon, Florida, just outside of Tampa. We are charged up to 94%, just about to unplug. We added about 74 kilowatt hour overnight for free on the Tesla wall connector here at the hotel. Let me show you guys the stats and everything. We'll get unplugged. We'll head to the Riverview Mercedes charging site, and then we'll head north, and I need some coffee. So here we go. Hopefully the camera isn't too fogged up. It is just so humid here. It's hard to not have it fogged up. We'll unplug. Remove my adapter. Try to put this back relatively neatly, at least. I have to grab the whole cable. There we go. That's pretty neat, I'd say. And let's get in the truck. Toss that back there. Maybe tossed it a little too hard. Oops. So it is 7:15 in the morning on a Saturday. And just for context, this is September 27th. So some of the charging sites that we visit will have maybe been open a bit longer by the time you guys watch this. I suspect this will probably come out in like November. So there we have the stats from yesterday, 227.3 miles. I am going to reset that just so that we have today's stats. And then here we have, since I left home from Charlotte, that was on Wednesday, when I drove down here, and then also the driving around in Florida and from Delray Beach over here to Tampa across the state. So there we have that. We're at just over 67,000 miles, 67,339. So we will cross 68,000 today. And let me get my CarPlay going. So this is to the Mercedes site, 11 minutes away. We'll go there. Probably go that way. I'm less likely to mess up that navigation this early in the morning. And yeah, let's get going. We'll do that, and then so we'll go to that site, and then there's another Mercedes site that I want to go to up here in Lutz, somewhere up here-ish. Then from there, we're going to make the hike all the way up to Valdosta, which is where there's an IONNA site. We've got a Buc-ee site in Warner Robins with Mercedes charging. There's another one up here, not a Buc-ee's, but a Mercedes site. Depending on state of charge, we may stop at the Sandy Springs Mercedes site outside Atlanta, and then Gaffney, South Carolina along the way here-ish. And then that will be our last stop before we go into Charlotte. Let me show you a better route planner. So these are kind of just arbitrary times I put in. So we'll probably charge for like 10 minutes at this one, just while I'm checking out the site, grabbing some coffee or something. Charge for 22 minutes apparently to 100% to get to Valdosta. It is 214 miles from the Tampa Lutz site all the way up to Valdosta, so we will need a fairly deep charge for that, but that's okay. Yeah, there we don't really need to charge. So we've got pretty reasonable distances here, other than the Tampa to Valdosta 214 mile leg, and then the Sandy Springs to Gaffney leg, that's 183 miles, but all the other ones are pretty darn short actually. So without further ado, let's get on the road. There you go, 94% state of charge, estimating 297 miles of range. We have 119 kilowatt hour in the pack, and that's where we're starting off today. Let's get to it.
And let the feelings overflow. I tried to shake it, find a way to get you off my mind. Really tried to draw that line. One look from you, I'm praying I could call you mine. Baby, you got my hands tied. No more games. Can't we just say its name instead of running away and jumping the gun to play?
Well, I just ordered Dunkin' Donuts over there on the mobile app. We arrived to the Riverview Mercedes Chargers, and I just activated that port there. We're at 92% state of charge. We drove 5.6 miles at 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour. So I'm just going to plug in and then run and grab my Dunkin'. I'll place a mobile order for Starbucks because I prefer their coffee. And there's one on the way kind of out of this area. There we go. It's not going to charge fast at all. But yeah, here we have it. There's like a dentistry place there. There's a brewery, Asian cuisine, tanning, cleaners. There's a Sonic right there. Domino's Pizza. There's a Circle K with a Dunkin'. I think that's probably going to be the most popular with visitors. And yeah, we've got 6 units actually. 6 units, 10 ports. Oh, it failed because I am dumb and forgot to set my one-time charge limit higher to 100% before plugging in. So rookie move there. I'm so used to leaving my charge port, or my charge limit, set to 100% on road trips. So let me reactivate that. Well, to wait for that to reflect in the app one moment. And let me show you how to set the one-time charge limit. That was entirely user error. It's also not really that normal of a use case to charge or to be plugging in at 92%. That's pretty abnormal and generally would make 0 sense. All right, let me reactivate maybe. Start charge, start charge. Yes, okay. Looks like these have been maybe getting hit with the sprinklers with those water spots. Should have gotten an activation from the ChargePoint app. There we go. Now we're flashing. Let's try that again. Let's see the cable management. There we go. Now we should charge a little bit. Got a switchgear, transformer, and of course all the units. So there's the chargers there, and I did consider getting a car wash here, but unfortunately car washes seem to be one of the only things that somehow tend to be more unreliable than older chargers, because this car wash is down, so that's unfortunate. Even their gas sign is not functioning apparently, but good thing I'm going for Dunkin'. Got an avocado toast and some Munchkin donut holes. We're up to 95% state of charge. Going to place my Starbucks mobile order and then we'll go. Starbucks order placed. I'll stop charging. Charge up to 95%. Starbucks is about a mile away. Let's see. Back on. I have Starbucks as a stop, or 1.2 miles away, and then we'll start heading north to the Tampa Premium Outlets, and then make our way north. So that's the Lutz, Tampa area Mercedes charger. Got the Starbucks, got the Dunkin', 27 miles, 25 minutes to Tampa Premium Outlets. Let's go. Well, we're at 84% state of charge, drove 27 miles. We are 33 miles in so far today, not making the fastest time, of course, since we backtracked a bit. I'll set the charge limit to 100% since we're going to need basically as much as we can get. We are at the Mercedes chargers here in Lutz, Florida, Tampa Premium Outlets. We have an EQE SUV charging there. We also have 6 Electrify America stalls right behind us, so got lots of charging options. We've got a maintenance guy here, so let's get plugged in. There we go. And I'll tap my Apple Wallet. There we go. So there's plug and charge on Mercedes. You can use some different charging apps, and then you can also use your payment terminal here. They only do a $25 hold, which is nice. So I should start charging here in just a second. And then we do have the smart poles here as well. You can see the state of charge there. And there we go, 84%. Of course, we're not going to get very high power. And we'll charge up. So let me just give you guys a tour of this site. So there are two single cable Alpatronic HYC 400s. There is a 4,000 amp Lincoln Electric panel here. So you can see 4,000 amp. So that has the 4,000 amp main and then the 600 amp branch circuits to each one of the hyperchargers. We then have a 1500 kVA utility transformer. And then we have four dual cable Alpatronic HYC 400s, and then you have the Mercedes smart poles that show status and state of charge and all that fun stuff. Over here we have Electrify America. These are SK Signet chargers. There are 6 ports, single cable per dispenser, 3 power cabinets there. So this is a balanced site, as they call it, where they share power across the 2 different the 2 different dispensers connected to the same cabinet. Large distribution cabinet. They have a 1,000 kVA transformer. Let's just take a look here. That one has seen better days with that cable management. Looks like all of them have been rubbed quite a bit by the cable management. Looks like we do have 1 port down and cable management broken. But otherwise, seems to be mostly functional. We've got a trash can. I would have liked to see some pull through here. Not that this is really prime pull through like EV use case, since it's not really that rural, but still we're close enough to the interstate that I think could be useful, and it'd be very easy to make these ones pull through. You could just move the pole over and then people could pull through. So anyway, we're at Tampa Premium Outlets, and there's Under Armour, Adidas, Farsky. I'm assuming there's restrooms reasonably close. I might actually investigate that, but I'm gonna grab my coffee first and see. Otherwise, worst case, there's McDonald's right there. That would be a good option if you were here late at night and needed a restroom. But this is a great looking site, and I love to see CPOs co-located. So you have 10 Mercedes ports, and then you also have 6 Electrify America ports. That way people can take their pick. I must say that I'm not a fan of parking becoming such a business. Like, you have to pay to park in these spots up front, which I guess is nice, but it should be only during peak hours, not any time. Otherwise, you just have all these spots sitting open. The local South Park Mall near me has that as well, and it's really annoying. And I don't think that person paid, and I also don't think it's actually that strictly enforced, contrary to what the sign says. You can also see the charging again. I'm going to see if there's a restroom. It is 8:30 in the morning on Saturday, which I feel like is not that unreasonable of a time to be charging. So hopefully there are restrooms open. We've got a little directory there that should hopefully point us in the right direction. We do have some vending machines here, which is nice. Looks like it's only drinks though. Let's see if we can find some restrooms. Is there a "you are here" on here? Let's see. You are here. Looks like we've got restrooms just around here. So that's nice. Not a whole lot is open, which is actually kind of nice and peaceful. And for once in Florida, it's not blazing hot out. It's only 76 degrees instead of 96 degrees, which is nice. Let's see if these restrooms are open. It's so odd walking around an outlet mall with no one here. Well, unfortunately, the restrooms are not open, and it also doesn't have hours. So I don't know, maybe they open at like 9 or 10. I'm not sure what the hours of some of these businesses are. Let's see if Guess has hours on their door. I do not see any hours. I also don't see really any people here, like employees prepping to open or anything like that. Looks like Adidas opens at 10 according to that sign. At least on Friday, Saturday, or Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday 11. So I would say 10 a.m. is hopefully a reasonable assumption, or probably a bit earlier than that for restroom availability here. Well, we've been here about half an hour. We now have an Acura ZDX that just pulled up. And I think it's time to go. We're up to 98% state of charge. Maybe even 99 at this point. 98. We have 124 kilowatt hour in the pack. I think that is plenty to make it the 214 miles to Valdosta. And let's get on the road. We added 20 kilowatt hour. So let's see if the truck thinks we can make it there. Or I guess Apple Maps. It does not think we can make it there. All of these add a stop, so we'll just hit go. We'll continue on. And we do have plenty of bailout options along the way if we need to stop and charge, but I don't think we do because it is only 215 miles and we have 124 kilowatt hour in the pack, 297 miles of estimated range. We should be fine. Worst case, we slow down a little bit, but we've got our just this trip clear since the truck was power cycled, I guess, from charging. And let's get on the road. Got some distance to cover. I am flooring it, 1% state of charge, 3% power available, 5 kilowatt hour in the pack. This is not a good spot to be dead. I have my hazards on. Turn the truck off. I mean, we should not be dead. And I am less than a mile. That is not good. I am dead. Let me turn off HVAC. I should be fine. I don't know why it's not going. Let's do that. Just fully cycle the contactors, I guess. I at least want to be able to just move. If nothing else, I mean, even if I can just get in that parking lot, that'd be better than right here. This is not good. Not good. I am stuck. 0% state of charge. We are dead. I do not like this. I do not like this at all. Why do I not have power? Let's just shut it off, see if it adjusts, but I am stuck. I don't know what to do here. I guess I need to call a tow truck. Charger's unreachable. Yep, I know. I don't understand why I cannot go. I should be fine. This is not good. There's no reason I should not be able to go right now. According to the vehicle, I have 4 kWh in the pack, but apparently don't trust the BMS. Showing 4.22% is the state of charge of the actual battery. Should have some amount of energy. I mean, the moment this light turns green, I'll try and turn the truck back on and just see if it... Let's just see that. I think today might be turning into a long day, unfortunately, but this should have been fine. I mean, that even shows 1 mile of range, so I should be able to limp it 1 mile. There's a Circle K charger there closer. If I need to go there, I will. So the moment this turns green, I will try to go. I guess we'll see in a second. Let's see. I'm flooring it. I cannot go. This is not good. 0% state of charge, even though I have 1 mile remaining. What the heck? What the heck? I am just stuck here, I guess. Not good. Not good at all. It is completely dead. And again, 4 kWh in the pack, 4.22% actual battery state of charge from the BMS. I do not understand why I cannot move right now. Well, apparently I wore the wrong shirt on the wrong day. I should have worn my Don't Trust the BMS shirt today because, yeah, that was an adventure. It should have been fine, but apparently it wasn't. So big thank you to the Good Samaritan that helped me. I gave him some cash to replace the straps that broke just from towing the weight. He said, I will not take any money for the service, but I'll take the money to replace the straps, and I cannot thank him enough. I didn't get his name, but very, very nice guy. Was very careful, of course. He obviously wanted his truck to stay nice, but obviously very careful with my truck as well. So cannot thank him enough. We're charging here at Circle K. I'll probably stop at 10% and then I'll go over to the IONNA down the street. But what an adventure. Apparently I should not trust Ford BMS below 5%, I guess, is the lesson learned here. So these ABB Terra 184s from Circle K, they will only do 400 amp output for 10 minutes. We're only getting 130 kilowatt or so. So I'm going to stop it here now that we're at 11%, and then we'll go to the IONNA down the street. Well, I just activated 1B. I use the ChargePoint app because I like to track all my charging sessions, and these should be a lot faster than the Circle K 400 amp chargers. My truck only needs 500 amps, but These will do up to 600 amps if your vehicle requests it. This is also cheaper than Circle K. Circle K was 55 cents a kilowatt hour. This is 39 cents a kilowatt hour, and this is obviously faster, so why would I not use that? We're at Ashley Furniture, which I feel like is a little bit of a strange site host choice for a corridor, but glad to have it here. I might try and see if I use the restroom there. There is, I think this is a Ruby Tuesday, maybe? I didn't fully catch the sign. And then there's a Walmart there, and you can actually peek the Electrify America right there. So close to that, there we are ramping up. We should be at 500 amps here in just one moment. There we go, full 500 amps. We are getting 172 kilowatt. That will ramp up as the pack voltage comes up. We have 5 chargers here, 3 CCS, 2 NACS, so 2 ports each. We've got a Vistique charging here. And then we have the switchgear and transformer over here. Not sure what the rating of the transformer or of the switchgear is. Let's see what the transformer says. Looks like we have a 2000 kVA transformer, so well suited to the size of the site. And we've got a canopy. All good things. Well, after the last adventure we just had, I decided that we were going to charge to have a 20% arrival to the Buc-ee's in Warner Robins area. So we'll hit the road here in just a moment. We're charged up to 80%. We've dropped down to 57.7 kilowatt into the pack. Let's see what our curve looked like. There we go. You can see the normal 80% dip. We added 95 kilowatt hour, and I think we added 12 at the Circle K, so quite a bit of energy. Definitely will need to calibrate the battery. So let's do stop. There we go. And there we go. So charging detail there, you can see the full curve. And let's get on the road. We've got some distance to cover after our bit of a delay. Let me make sure this was shut properly since I did open it. That's good enough. I'll deal with that at Buc-ee's. Let's get on the road. Not sure why it's all choppy here. Let's try that again. Maybe. Turn the truck fully on. Also, here's some stats. So we've driven 244.3 miles so far today. Fortunately, lost the trip for the last leg, but it was like 210 miles or so at 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour. This trip too also includes 2 full days of leaving the truck on with the AC running, so that's definitely skewed. Let's turn the truck off and see if CarPlay wants to work properly. Let's try it again. Maybe. We have 105 kilowatt hour in the pack. So hopefully things stay working properly. Let's see why my CarPlay is not working. I only use wired CarPlay. I do not use wireless CarPlay, if you're wondering why I'm plugging the cord in and out. CarPlay. Maybe? Maybe not. It doesn't seem to detect that it's on CarPlay. Let's do this. Open the door. Let's try that again, I guess. Otherwise, I'll reboot my phone. Anyway, I will just get on the interstate using this, and then I'll reboot my phone once we're going, but let's get on the road.
I've been falling into circles again. It happens every time I think about you. I bet this isn't how you remember me at all. 'Cause I go one step closer to bed before the midnight hour, and I'm just waiting for a faded lift ride home. One step closer to bed before the midnight hour, and I'm just waiting to do it all over. Don't keep sailing away into the
We just made it to the Warner Robins Buc-ee's. We did 128 miles, 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour, and 372 miles driven today. We're at 18% state of charge, 23 kilowatt hour in the pack. It is 87 degrees outside. Goodness gracious. We've got a Cybertruck towing. Look at that, an Airstream. That is actually pretty cool. Let's get plugged in here. We're using the ChargePoint Mercedes units. And this site has 43 Tesla Superchargers. Let me activate with my ChargePoint virtual RFID. There we go, authorizing, so we should be getting full power here in just a second. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dual port Mercedes ChargePoint Express Plus. And we're towards the back of the Buc-ee's. Let's grab a water here, and then I'll take you guys for a walk. Looks like we're only being offered 400 amps. Hopefully that increases here in a second. There we go, 500 amps. I think it had to just add the power modules in and such. So we're getting full power. We'll be here in a second as that ramps up. Oh, dang. The Cybertruck is there leaving. That is sweet, though. So let's just take a look at the scale of this site. This is a very busy Buc-ee's. And so here's a bunch of version 4 posts. And I suspect this site is actually basically 3 separate sites. So we have one transformer, there's another transformer down there. Got a Mach-E charging. Should have grabbed my Segway, I guess. So 4 posts, 4 posts. These are version 4 posts, version 3 cabinets. So that's a 2000 kVA transformer. Again, it is toasty out here. Got a bolt there, not charging, interesting. And I did look on the Tesla app, these are actually Magic Dock. So I guess this is where the 43 comes from, because this cabinet only has 3 posts on it. Though I guess it could be over there. We've got, actually never mind, because we've got 7 A, B, C, D, and then 8 A, B, C, D, I guess. Got some weird spacing going on here, and a mix of, actually no prefabricated ones here. Well, no, we've got prefab over here. We have 1,000 kVA transformer, Cybertruck with the light bar. Another Cybertruck over here. These are Magic Dock as well. You can tell because it has the little bit that holds the cable that's bigger. I don't think the Cybertruck realizes they would charge faster on the other Superchargers. Got another Model 3. That is a nice M2. And we've got a Rivian and a Mach-E charging over here. So definitely a busy site. And I'm going to go into Buc-ee's, grab some food because it is 2:45 or so in the afternoon. And I could use some real food while we're charging. We are charged up to 90% state of charge. Just unplugged. There we go. We got to hit the road. Let's get our CarPlay set up. We have 114 kilowatt hour in the pack. I was talking to the owners of this BZ4X, giving them some tips on route planning. So we are going up I-75 through Atlanta. We're going to be stopping at a Mercedes site along the way. Not 100% sure if I'll be able to charge there. It's a brand new site. Not sure if it's actually open yet. But we'll check that out. Then we'll head up to the Mercedes hub in Sandy Springs, actually at their US HQ. There we'll charge a fair bit there. We'll head to Gaffney, South Carolina, Spartanburg area, and then we'll be home. So let's get on the road. We've still got quite a bit of distance to cover. So there's roughly our route. We set this to 90%. Plan. So we've still got about 6 hours to go. It's almost 4 p.m. So we are getting fairly late here. Looks like we'll get home about 10 p.m. Not ideal, but we'll make it work. I just love to see Volkswagen buzzes on the road. It just puts a smile on your face every time.
Again, is the future really possible without you? I'm realizing now I've been stuck here from the start. 'Cause I go one step closer to bed before the midnight hour, and I'm just waiting for a faded lift to ride home. One step closer to bed before the midnight hour, and I'm just waiting to do it all over. Don't keep sailing away into the edge of time. Wake up to find it all slipping away. In the dark, in the rain, I was breaking down. Don't keep sailing away into the edge of time. Wake up to find it all slipping away.
Made it to the Mercedes site here in Locust Grove. You can see the 4 cable setup. Would love to hear what you guys think of that. There's CCS NACS on all the units. So definitely comment down below what you guys think of it. It basically means that you don't have to use adapters, and I'm gonna check out the site. I don't need to charge here. I'm at 65% state of charge, 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour, and we are headed to Sandy Springs next. So let's do next stop. And that's only 51 miles away, so we have plenty of range. Probably not going to charge here. Well, took care of some business here in Locust Grove. By the time you guys are watching this video, these should be ready to charge. This is a nice site with Moe's Southwest Grill. There's Papa John's. There's some other stuff there. There's a Starbucks not too far away as well. Zaxby's across the street, and Express Oil, I guess. That's not useful for EVs. Anyway, we have 54 minutes roughly to Sandy Springs, and then we're gonna be heading up there and then heading back to Charlotte. So 2 more stops tonight and then we'll be home. So here we have the site, as I mentioned. You can also see the lights there. So we are at 44% state of charge. We drove 114 miles. That also includes the stop time. And 487 miles today so far, 1530 so far since I left home in Charlotte. And without further ado, let's get plugged in. And then I'll give you guys more of a tour of everything else here. So let me activate it. MB USA HQ Charger 1. So I'll activate it here with my ChargePoint virtual RFID. Plug in. Just like that. So here you can see the whole site. You can also see the lights, how they're actually lit up in the stall that I'm in, and also that the stalls that the other people are in. So they are beautiful lights. There's a pull-through stall over there as well. And we are at the Mercedes-Benz USA headquarters. So let's just get this set up. We've also got a lounge over here, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it is 6:50, so it should be open. And there we go, 500 amps. Had to ramp up there. So we are charging at full power. Oops. Car scanner. There we go. So full power there. And I think we'll be able to see the charging cabinets most likely from above here. So there's the utility transformer. And there you can see the cabinets and everything. And the beautiful canopy. This is a beautiful charging site. And then there's some other businesses up there if you just go outside the property. This is probably the nicest charging station I've ever been to. You guys obviously can't tell, but you can even just smell how nice it is in here. You can see some of the different vehicle stuff, so. Check that out. Oh, there we go. Took a moment to load. There's a coffee machine here that you can buy a coffee. I'm not sure. Kind of curious how much they are. $3 for espresso, $3.50 for double espresso. That all seems quite reasonable, actually. You've got Gatorade, chips, lots of different things. All pretty reasonably priced, I must say. There's some stuff that's out, as seen on here. I'd say in general, pretty good selection. Pretty reasonable pricing. That's nice. You can even see it nicely. And this is open, as I said, 8 to 8. There's a little lounge here, air conditioned. And apparently the restroom and amenities are over here. There's the utility transformer. So there are the restrooms. 2500 kVA transformer. There must be a path to somewhere. Now I'm intrigued since it said amenities. Kind of curious where this goes. I feel like I'm not really supposed to be walking over here. But anyway, this is a beautiful campus, beautiful charging site. You have restrooms, you have snacks. Not really a whole lot else I could ask for. I wish the hours were maybe a little bit longer, but that would obviously introduce other problems potentially as well. And I'm happy to be out of the Florida heat. I was not expecting even the restrooms to be this nice. This is beautiful, actually. So here's some more info, or not info, but just show you guys a little bit more. Here's the pull-through stall. So you can kind of see. It might be a little tricky to get in or out of here with the trailer. Like if you came in, you'd have to probably turn around right here, which I think this is where Mercedes employees charge or park. Charge, because I saw the ChargePoint level 2s up there. I guess you could probably turn around a trailer here. Probably wouldn't want something too crazy big, but doable. Good that they put bollards here. That's smart. And yeah, you could probably pull through here and then be able to pull it out, but it is a little bit tight, so just be mindful of that if you are towing a trailer. I certainly wouldn't want like a car trailer or something. That might be a little tricky to get in and out of here. We've got a Model Y, we've got a Kona Niro. I can never keep those straight. And then you have the status light for my truck on the other side there. Letting it charge to 90% here as I'm getting our route and everything set up. So 2 hours, 48 minutes, 184 miles. Charging to 90% because that way I don't have to worry about speed or anything. I can just drive and not think about it. It's projecting a 5% arrival. I certainly hope we arrive with a bit more than that with 90% state of charge, but traffic does move pretty quickly here. I-85. And yeah, this should be completing here in just one moment. Interestingly, it does look like it tapered down the offered current, though maybe I'm sharing with someone. I'm not entirely sure the sharing logic. There are 8 ports and 8 200 kilowatt cabinets, but ChargePoint hardware does some weird stuff as far as power sharing, and not 100% sure how that works. If you know how, then comment down below, please. We just hit 90%, but this truck likes to get to like full 90%, not just kind of 90%, if you know what I mean. We have 113 kilowatt hour in the pack. And the moment it ticks off here, I will unplug the truck and get going. I guess it would be nice if this extended very slightly to make it easier to back out and then go straight, but it's pretty limited space here, so they did what they needed to do. Should be done here in just a moment. And then we'll get going. I just activated the charger here in Gaffney. We drove 181.1 miles, 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour, and we are at 6% state of charge. We've driven 668.2 miles today and 1711.3 since I left home. There, sorry, I guess I did not confirm the activation, so we should be able to activate here in a second. And what was nice, if you've watched the kind of pulling in clip, that light and that light were off completely as I got here. That one was on as kind of just area lighting, but this one came on as I got here with the motion sensors on the smart pole. And then that should show my plug-in here in just a second. I think we've been here before on the channel. There's a Buc-ee just randomly there for some reason. There you can see that it's preparing with the blue light. And it should go to my state of charge here in a moment. So there you can see the pulsing at the bottom. Maybe it is pulsing. I can't tell if you guys can tell. Does not capture well on camera, but it looks pretty good in person. And there we go, ramping up. Should get the full 500 amps, and it's actually fairly cool out. It feels amazing after being in Florida. And there we go, just right about 500 amps. It should hit there in just a moment. There we go, full 500 amps. So we'll charge up to probably like 50-60% or so. I think it's about 60 miles home, but I don't want to arrive dead, just so that I can actually use my truck tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, and since I don't have home charging yet, that is on my list of things to do if I'm hopefully home for more than a few days at a time for once. Yeah, I need to get an electrician out, take advantage of the Duke charger installation credit program, since apparently I qualify for 2 of them, having 2 EVs at our house. So that's really nice. But let me show you guys this site here quick, and then I'll hang out in the truck while we just charge a little bit here. I cannot fully remember if I've shown this site before on the channel. I've been here before. I can't remember if it was on a road trip or not. I parked kind of terribly, but I don't feel too bad. It's the middle of the night and I'm the only one here. Transformer switchgear. We are at the Gaffney factory outlets, or premium outlets, whatever they call it. There's a Tesla Supercharger on the other side of the outlets. I believe it's a 12 stall, if I remember correctly. Maybe 16, but I'm pretty sure it's 12. We have 5 Alpatronic HYC 400s. 4 of them have dual cables and 1 has a single cable. So that's 9 ports. And yeah, these are pull through, which is really nice. And that one is the accessible stall. And then it has the poles with the state of charge and all that fun stuff. You can see it's pulsing there with my state of charge at the very bottom. And then as my state of charge increases, that will go up. Almost 8 minutes in, and we're still holding just 500 amps. Now it's starting to dip very slightly. But the charging curve on this is actually surprisingly good. We've added, what is that, 18%, 19% in about 8 minutes, which is awesome. And over 170 kilowatt average. Well, we only have about 64 miles or so to go, so we're gonna get unplugged here at 53, 54%. We've added 61 or so kilowatt hours, so I'll hit stop there. Go. And there's the details. 61.5 kilowatt hour, 25 minutes or so, and 6 to 53%. You can see that will go green here in a moment now that we have just stopped. Takes a moment for the charger and everything to communicate, but that's blue now. Yeah, blue now. Should go green here in a moment, and then that should trigger that to go green in just a moment as well. It was a very good charging session. Nice high average of somewhere in here. And there we go, green. Let me get CarPlay all going and we'll get on the road. And there we have it. 58 minutes home-ish. Navigating to the EVgo down the road. And then I will see you guys when I get home with a full wrap up. It is getting late, so I definitely want to get home. Well, some final stats for you guys. 1,773.8 miles driven since I left home a few days ago. 730.8 miles driven today. It's quite a few miles in one day. Not my record, though. And 62.5 miles at 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour on this leg. We have 32.4 kilowatt hour in the pack right now. We're still at 98% state of health. I'd say overall this was a good trip. I had hoped it would be less eventful, I guess. I guess lesson learned, if you've been DC fast charging, dead to full or dead to a bit multiple days in a row, maybe not to trust it at low state of charge. If you've watched my videos with the Lightning before, you've seen that this is not the first time it has done the like single digit and then kind of trickled down once it was stopped. I think the most notable instance was on my road trip from Minnesota back in Sevierville, Tennessee. I think I parked at like 4% and then I ended up plugging in at 0 or something like that. Not ideal. Ford, if you're watching this, feel free to pull logs and reach out to me. Yeah, I think Ford really just needs to fix the calibration issues they have at low state of charge. especially since they have such large buffers. There's really no excuse for it. Anyway, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's 11:30 at night and I am tired. Thank you guys for watching.